Shalom.
Shalom.
This is Waco Israel Ministries.
Shabbat Shalom.
Here coming to you on another Sabbath, going with another very interesting lesson.
Yes.
We're going to talk about avoid the philosophy of Satan tonight. We're going to
come on,
share a video. We're going to share some videos as we've been doing lately.
Finish what you have to say. Send your donations to josh.lavio@gmail.com. We're really starting to get response with offerings. Please send what you can. Thank you.
So that said, go to the screen.
Are we letting up? You didn't turn it down. Did you touch the volume on the speaker? Did you touch the volume on the speaker? Did you touch the volume on the speaker? All right.
Welcome to the Father's Day. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Today I'm speaking with a Hebrew Israelite group. I have with me Barak, right?
Shalom, shalom, brother. How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, thank you for coming here. And this is your wife, Yanni. Is that right?
Yes.
Yanni, thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for having us.
We played the horn. You played the horn just before we started. What was that about?
Well, the shofar is a part of the culture of the Hebrew Israelites. Now, it's a real good history lesson when it comes to the shofar, because the shofar actually comes out of West Africa, right? And a lot of people think that it's a Jewish thing, but the shofar actually comes from what's the name of that? Kudu ram. A kudu ram, and the kudu rams come from West Africa. So when you blow the shofar, they blew the ram's horn to knock down the walls of Jericho. So when you blow the shofar, you can blow the shofar for healing. You can blow the shofar for victory. You can blow the shofar for going to war. So there's many different reasons why we blow the shofar.
So are you considered like the preacher, or?
Yes, I'm a moray of one of the groups of the Hebrew Israelites.
Which means preacher or pastor?
Preacher or teacher.
Okay. And I was telling you earlier that I was up in Las Vegas doing a debate with one of the Israelite groups. Are you different than they are?
No, we are all family, but we're not a part. Like, everybody have their own little set. So they name of their group is GOCC. We're not a part of GOCC, but we all consider each other family. See, being a Hebrew Israelite is not it's not a religion. It's a birthright.
That's right.
It's a nationality.
It's a family.
So you are considered a Hebrew Israelite by blood if you were so-called Negro in America.
So have you always been a Hebrew Israelite? Were you a Christian before that?
Yeah, I actually woke up probably around like 15 year ago. I used to go to church every Sunday, and my testimony is real interesting because I actually heard a voice from the Most High leading me and guiding me, and he took me to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and he showed me that the Bible is a history book. It's not a religious book. It's not about Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, all these different things. It's actually a history book, and we are actually in the book, and we are the main characters in the book. And so when I found out that I was a Hebrew Israelite, at first I was sad, because what actually happened was the children of Israel went against the Most High, and we got put in a punishment. And this is all a part of Deuteronomy 28 for anybody that's listening. We can go over some scriptures if you like, just quick ones. Is that okay with you?
Well, we'll come back to it. I just want to bring
Yanni
in. And so, Yanni, you're married to Malak.
Yes.
Malak.
Yes.
And were you a Christian prior to leaving?
Yes, I was raised actually in a Baptist church growing up.
Really? And so you became a Israelite,
Absolutely.
Hebrew Israelite. And what's the difference in being a Christian and being a Israelite, Hebrew
Well, the
Israelite?
difference is being a Christian, those are all man-made religions. So like my husband Malak was saying that
So they don't want to hear
a
that.
Hebrew Israelite is our culture,
When you
our
become-
heritage, our nationality. It's who we are as a people.
That's right. Come
Meaning
on.
that you are a Jew?
No.
Yes,
You a Jew?
I'm a Jew.
Are you the original Jew?
According to the Bible and the scriptures, yes, we are the original Jews. Yes, we are.
And so, did your life change as a result of becoming a Jew rather than a Christian?
Yes, it did.
In what way?
Because in regards to when I say everything, I changed everything from my diet,
That's right.
the things that I ate before when I was going to church. Although we read out of the same Bible, we weren't following those laws that are written in that Bible. The Bible, the Most High God gives us specific foods we are to eat. I was eating everything under the sun. When I say lobster, crab, shrimp, those are all abominations.
You don't eat that anymore?
No.
Should I have your portion?
You should. You don't want it either. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Fish.
You don't know.
Yeah, but all those are
You can eat fish. You just
you
have
can
to
eat
have
fish, yeah.
scales on it.
Everything that's in the water has to have scales and fins.
Right,
Has to have
And
scales.
so, how long you been married?
We've been married for 6 years.
Is he the head of you?
Yes.
He's the head. So you're the head of your wife.
That's correct.
And what does that mean to be the head of your wife?
Be the head of my wife means being a strong leader in my household, being a provider, being a nurturer of the Bible and spiritually, mentally, and physically through the power of the Most High.
And so the white-skinned people in Israel and other places who say that they are Jews, they are not the Jews.
No, they're not.
And who are they?
They call themselves Ashkenazi, right? So the Bible actually says in Genesis chapter 10 that Ashkenazi is the isles of the Gentiles. So these are converts that came in and took our identity when we went into slavery.
Really?
Yes.
And so you're saying blacks are the original Jews?
Yes.
Are you like totally convinced of that?
I know that for a fact.
And how has it helped you to see yourself as a Jew?
Well, it gave me my identity back, because that's what everybody in America is basically experiencing right now, is an identity crisis, not knowing who they are. We walking around with amnesia because they telling us that we was Africans when we came over here and not telling us where we came from Africa. And actually, I brought
you're
this
getting
chart
blessed
right
with
here
this.
so you can
This
see.
is what we've been ministering for the last 8 years.
Now, this is a Negro land, right? This is actually the place where our people came from, the west part of Africa, right by Ghana, right? And so if you look deeply into this, you can see Benjamin, you can see Judah, right? You can actually see that the tribes of Israel was in this place, right?
Okay.
So when they was actually selling people, our people, on slave ships, right? You know what they called them?
What?
Hebos or Igbos.
This was from all parts of Africa or just that particular area?
Well, they went to that particular part of Africa and they got most of us from there, but we got scattered to the four corners of the earth. But that was our main place that we was at. They wasn't grabbing regular Africans, they was grabbing the Hebrew Israelites.
And so the blacks who were selling blacks, you had the black kings and higher uppers selling their underclass blacks in Africa. Did they know they were selling Jews?
Yes, they did.
They knew that.
Yes.
So seeing yourself as a Jew, does that make you feel better about yourself?
Well, like I said, when you have your identity back, you can know, when you know where you came from, you can know where you're going. Now, the Bible is real powerful because the whole Bible is about the Hebrew Israelites. It's a lot of prophecies that are going to take place. And without you having understanding about who you are in the book, you will have no understanding about what's about to take place in the earth.
That's right.
When you came to believe, who told you that you were the original Jew? How did you feel about that?
Like I said, it's in the Bible. The Bible says
somebody had to bring it to your attention.
I told you that God himself, the Most High himself, called me out of my my disobedience and led me into the scriptures and showed me that I was a Hebrew Israelite. And this is happening all over the world. This ain't just happening with me.
I mean, I asked because I've interviewed other Hebrew Israelite, you know, the ones in Vegas, but there's another group here in LA, and they wear like warrior clothes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've seen them over in the Barak. I've interviewed them. So there seems to be a split between who are the real Israelites or even amongst the blacks.
No. We all one family.
But y'all fight amongst each other.
No.
When they don't like this, you know, this said don't like that said and don't like that said.
Well,
it's just like any other family. Take, for instance, your blood family, right? You may have disagreements, but you're still going to love your family.
Basically, the Most High been waking us up so rapidly, right, to be Hebrew Israelites, get ready for the kingdom to come, that a lot of us are in different places. And it just takes time for everybody to get to the same place.
That's right.
And it's all going to happen by the power of the Most High in Christ. Ahayah, bahashem.
When will this take place? When will this happen?
Nobody knows the exact time, but we know that we are getting closer to the end.
If you are the true Israelites or the true Jews, why do you read from the Christian Bible?
It's
This
not
is
a
not a
Christian
Christian Bible. This is a Hebrew Israelite Bible.
That's a Hebrew.
Moses was a Hebrew Israelite.
When you say it's not a Christian Bible, it's not the Bible that you were reading. Is that a different Bible than you were reading as a Christian?
No, this is the King James Version Bible.
And this is Bible.
Come on, brother.
They made it.
Christians brought us here on slave ships, right? You know that, right?
I guess so.
So everybody could be a Christian. Everybody could be a Christian. It's a religion.
Right, it's a religion.
We're talking about a bloodline.
So let me ask, prior to becoming a Jew, you had this emptiness inside, like something was missing, like a void.
Right.
Like something was wrong, right?
Identity.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so once you became a Jew, was that void taken away from you? Were you fulfilled completely?
It basically gave me the understanding, because I always wanted to know why we was hated so much. And we never did nothing to anybody.
Who hate you?
The other nations, the so-called Caucasians, the Japanese, the Chinese, everywhere we go, we hated. And I didn't understand why we was hated so much. But then when I read the Bible, it gave me the understanding and let me understand why our people were being hated so much.
When you did becoming a Jew fulfill that void deep down in your soul?
Oh, it did.
So you don't have that void anymore.
Yeah, because now I have understanding, knowing that the reason why we in the situations that we're in is because we didn't serve our God the way we're supposed to.
Do you have that? Was your void taken away too?
It was, absolutely. But we know that now that, like Malak was saying, that our forefathers were disobedient. So it's just like a parent and a child. If I do something wrong, my parent is going to discipline me.
Right.
So that's how we feel about the Most High God.
Do you have perfect peace?
I do. And within myself, knowing that I am the chosen.
How about you? You have perfect peace?
I have perfect peace.
At all times?
Yes, because I know I'm doing what the Most High God has commanded me to do.
When you say the so-called white or Caucasian, what do you mean by so-called? They don't really exist?
Because white is just a label that they get. That's not who they're called in the Bible.
What are they? Who are they?
In the Bible, they could be Japheth or they could be Esau.
That's a tribe?
Yeah, in the Bible.
So they shouldn't be called white people or Caucasians? No,
I didn't say that they couldn't. I just say so-called because I try to stick directly with what the Bible would say.
You see that white man over by the camera?
Sure.
Does he look like Jesus?
No.
He doesn't look like Jesus?
Well, Jesus is Caesar Borgia. So Caesar Borgia, yeah.
But he does look like Jesus.
No. The Christ that we know, he looks like me.
But the one you used to worship as a Christian, did he look like that?
I don't know.
If he didn't have
it, look like Caesar Borgia.
So I don't understand what the purpose of getting into this kind of stuff.
Well,
how's that going to help anyone? Do you love white people?
I love everybody.
How about white people?
I love everybody.
No, just
Most High told me not to hate nobody.
Do you love white people?
I love everybody who loves me.
How about white people?
Everybody.
Everybody.
See,
He's
let
trying
me
to
explain something.
I know, but answer that
Being
first.
a Hebrew Israelite is not a racist thing.
Right.
It's an awakening. It's an awakening that's taking place for you to get back what has been taken from you.
That's right.
It's not about us fighting amongst each other or anything like that. We know that we being oppressed by white people. We being oppressed by other nations, period. It ain't just them. We being oppressed by people who don't believe in the Most High, who don't want to keep commandments. So anybody that's unrighteous, not saying all white people ain't righteous. I'm just saying anybody who's unrighteous, that's where we having an issue with.
So do you love white people?
I love everybody.
I'm only asking about white people.
Well, I'm gonna keep saying everybody because I don't want to exclude nobody. So
How about you? You love white people?
I love, like, we're not born to hate anyone.
Right.
So
And do you love white people?
I love all people.
Do you love white people?
Yeah.
Are
love
they considered
Caucasian.
people?
Well, they're the
we're
only
not-
group I'm talking about.
we're
Do you
not
love
racist.
white?
Look, I have
See, you're trying to trap me.
friends that
He's
are
talked to a lot of
from
Israelites that hate whites.
the Caucasian race.
Do you love white people? The Caucasian.
Caucasian is white.
Right. Do you
so
love them?
Yeah.
I love everybody. That's, I mean, we're answering the questions.
And so what's the plan? Do you plan on moving?
I want to stop and I'll
Yeah.
start it again. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I want to say something. Let me say something. The brother maybe doesn't mean it. The one who's doing the commentary, he doesn't mean this, but the enemy is using him to try to twist words on them. See, listen, folks, there are a lot of Israelites that call the white people devils. They're never going to make it. That's not true. Now, we're Caucasian, right, Josh? We have a chance to make it because we came into understanding like this brother, but he's a real Hebrew Israelite. We're Gentiles, but we have a chance to make it now because we're keeping the Sabbath, we're keeping the holy days, we're eating clean food. So
And-
now we have a chance, right, Josh? Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Before we go into the scripture, I want to make a
Go
quick
ahead.
comment. After we read what we're going to read, then we're going to go back to the video. I want to point something out. Why is it
Come on, Josh.
that he is so fixated on them loving white people
Tell them
instead of loving their own?
Right. There you go. There you go. Yes, because it's a twist.
It's like, look at it like this. It's like this man is like, it's like saying, when you bring the truth to somebody, well, what about everybody else? What about everybody else? The Bible isn't really about everybody.
Come on.
So
This
why
way.
are you so worried about everybody instead of yourself?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, because if that brother that's being spoken to by this commentary man, or this man that has him on his show, he shouldn't be questioning him like that, because if he knows anything about the Hebrew Israelites and who they really are, which I don't think he does, Christ says, I love those who love me.
Right.
I love those who love me. It doesn't mean you go around saying, hey, if you don't love me, I'm going to hate you. No, he's not saying that. He's saying, I love those who love me. Keep my commandment, right? Keep my Sabbaths, right? Keep my holy days. Then now I love you. Now you can have a chance to be in the kingdom. Didn't Christ tell his own people, the kingdom of heaven is within you? What did that mean?
Before we read
It's
the
a
Bible,
nation. It's a people.
I want to show you all something.
Thank you, honey.
He didn't let him go to the scriptures.
No, he will, if they're going to be on a while. But don't worry about that, Mary. Mary, some are never going to come out. And not,
I don't think this Bible,
they're brainwashed, Mary.
the commentary, I don't think he will.
I hope not. We don't know that. If he gets enough truth, he might. Right, Tom?
I mean,
He might have a chance.
he said,
Hey.
he ran into the GOCC.
Oh, that's the guy. That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. I see. Hey, GOCC, baby. Now I understand. This brother spoke to GOC. He spoke
No,
to him.
yeah,
He had him on the show. He had him on this show, yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Yeah. You can't mess with people who have understanding. They'll cut you. They'll cut you deep. If you live in Jacksonville, they'll leave you bleeding out on blending. You need a paramedic, right? And we don't bash anyone, but there's people in the gym where I work out, they won't talk to me because they know I'll cut them. They won't talk to me because I know that word. And I'm going to black people and Puerto Ricans and telling them that they're tribal. I'm starting to get more of a response from the Mexicans now than I ever did before. The Puerto Ricans are the worst. They're the hardest because the government is pitting the Puerto Rican, right? Puerto Riches against the Hebrews, against the African Americans in America for job, elevation job, jobs.
I want to share something with you. If y'all, before we go into the Bible, this is important for y'all to understand. I have something on the screen right here. You all can see it. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. Now, let me read the definition of what this is.
You want the magnifying glass, Josh?
Telling, feeling of trust or affection felt in certain causes of kidnapping or hostage taking by a victim towards a captor.
Yeah, it's like a brainwashing. That's what Stockholm syndrome is.
Because
It's like
what the brother is saying is,
and you can read about this on and here's I'll just read it again. You can if you want to look more into it, you can go to Wikipedia, which is a good online source to learn stuff. And this is what a Sabbath or a Bible class is. You're supposed to learn. Okay, but I'll just read the definition again. Stockholm syndrome is a condition that causes a hostage to develop a physiological alliance with their captor as a survival strategy during captivity.
Yeah.
Now, why was this man so fixated on them trying to get them to say they love white people when they answered the question every time he said the same?
They answered him 20 times.
Because this individual has Stockholm syndrome. He is overly attached to the white man. Now, I'm not saying don't love white people.
I know you're saying, Josh. I know what you're saying. Tell them what you're saying, Josh. They love the oppressor.
Exactly. And let me read the definition again, because this helps. You got to understand the minds of what happens to somebody when they're enslaved.
Right.
Stockholm syndrome is a condition that causes the hostage or the slave to develop a physiological alliance with their captor. So he's like, people that think like this are so worried about what you think about the white man, when they don't really. What about what he should say? What he should have said is, what about our people? So the white man matters more than the black people. Your people don't matter. That's just like saying, when you bring the truth to somebody, they say, what about white people? What about white people?
There you go.
I'm not against white people. I'm not against nobody. Like the brother said, I'm for all people who love the truth. If you don't love the truth, hey, that's
I like what he said when he answered him. You know what he said? I love them yet. If they love me, well, that's Christ's words too. I love those who love me. But what that really means is, if you keep my commandments, and you know that Bible, that it's about you. You're a people, a nation.
Then again, you can always research these things. These are online. Let me just highlight.
That's right.
Okay, let me keep reading, because there's some more some more information here that we can. These feelings resulting from a bound towards or between the captor and a captive during during infinite time spent together, and generally considered irrational in light of the damage or risk endured by the victim, generally speaking, Stockholm syndrome.
Wow. Wow.
So again, that's deep, because you got to think about when you take somebody off of land, strip them of everything, make them feel less like lower than an animal, they're naturally going to become attached to the captor and build a irrational, illogical dependence on that person.
Absolutely.
Instead of really looking at these people. Now, these people are the cause of our people being divided.
That's right.
Not all, but as a structured government.
Right.
These people, the Edomite or the Caucasian,
as a social
system,
engineering, right? A social.
Yes.
Right.
The white man or the white system of supremacy has caused all the problems to black people.
Wow. You know, and I see this, Josh. Let me throw this out there to your viewers, and we love you. I don't judge it, but I know enough now, after 8 years coming into understanding, that when I see black people, or, you know, my brothers, my Hebrew friends, I don't call them Afro-Americans, I know who they are. When I see some of them that don't know who they are, talking to white people, it's like they're bowing down to them. Like they're always right. You know what I mean? Like there's not much they can really say. They'll talk and have a conversation, but that white person's always got that little edge in the conversation. I noticed that, Josh. And that bothers me. So, because they don't know who they are. You're greater than anyone.
This brother and people who think like him have Stockholm syndrome. They have a irrational or illogical connection or physiological alliance with their slave or their captor.
Say it again, Josh. That's good.
People that think like that brother, that the two brothers, the brother and sister we're talking to, have a irrational or illogical physical alliance with their oppressor.
Yeah, they really do.
Meaning they love their oppressor.
And the word says that, right? And we'll show you in the scripture later where it says that.
So Deuteronomy 28.
All right. Okay, Deuteronomy 28. We're going to start in the beginning, Josh. Or 28. Josh, the beginning.
I'll read.
Go ahead, Josh.
And it shall come to pass that if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power to observe and do all his commandments.
Yeah, Josh.
All his commandments. So that's the way. That's one of the ways they enforce spiritual Stockholm, because God clearly told these black Israelites. And I'll say it again, the Israelites are black. That's clear throughout the Bible. That if they obeyed his commandments, that they would be blessed above all nations,
equal,
above,
the same.
Say it, above,
beneath,
above all nations of the earth.
All right. So what happened?
So by teaching a slave that he's not under a law, you can cause him to cause his God to curse him. Wow. Because a slave is going to obey the voice of his captor or oppressor.
Wow.
So hold on. So Stockholm syndrome, like we just said, exists in the mind of people who have been consistently oppressed, and it causes that person or that race, some as a whole, to have illogical or inconsistent alliance physiologically on their captor. Why? Because when a person does certain things to you to strip you of your humanity or your personhood, you become reliant on that person who did that to give you something. Okay? You become reliant on that person to tell you who you are, what your purpose is. So a captor is going to strip you of your humanity, your personhood.
That's right. Your identity, everything.
Your identity. So that makes you want to serve him.
What's this? And there's Christians that are mad and deny the book of, what's that? The Willie Lynch book. They're saying it's a phony book. It's not real. Baloney. You go get that book and you read it, and everything we're telling you tonight too, it's in there. And they only said that it would hold up around 200-300 years.
So
that's ending now because everybody's waking up.
You have to get rid of that Stockholm syndrome that you have.
Come on, Josh.
Verse 15 says,
all right.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and do all his commandments
and his statutes,
which I command you this day.
Then all these, no, we're not under curses, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
And Stockholm syndrome is a curse because it causes you to rely on and have an over attachment to your oppressor.
Wow.
And after we read some more, we're going to go back to this video, and you're going to find out how much this black man, the host of the show, actually
listen close.
Loves
listen.
White people too much.
Right. See, he's indebted to them in the wrong way.
He's like he owes them something.
Yeah. Right.
By sticking up for them.
Right. You don't owe no white man nothing. You understand? Afro-American out there, Hebrew, Indian, whoever you are, tribal, Mexican, Puerto Rican, you don't owe no one nothing.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Come on.
So that, again, who is this talking about? What people fit these criteria? What people are cursed in the city? In other words, live in the lowest, worst conditions you can think of in any city.
I watch. Stop for 1 second. Watch this. Don't think it's just you Afro-American. Don't forget the Mexicans are the tribe too. And Puerto Ricans, look at how they're living. And what about South America? They're all tribal too. You tell me they're living right? They're all living below their means.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. In other words, you'll be cursed in your body, sicknesses, mental disorders.
Come on.
And the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, thy flocks and thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in and goest out. So, in other words, wherever
you go,
your families will be out of order.
That's right.
You'll have to worry about getting shot by your own people, by the police, and so on and so forth. The Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand for to do, until he hath destroyed you.
Until who has destroyed him?
He.
Who's he?
Not the white man.
The Most High.
The Most High.
He's going to destroy you. He's going to let these people destroy you because you didn't want to listen. And you're still in pagan Sunday worship.
Read 21.
Go ahead, Mary.
The Most High shall make the Pestilence.
Now, what is a pestilence? A pestilence is a sickness or an animal. If you look at the conditions that black people generally live in the ghetto, there's all type of bugs and rats and mice and all kind of diseased animals living where they live. That's pestilence. Shall cleave to thee. Read.
Until he
the Most High, right?
Thee
Uh-huh.
from off the land.
See, he's going to do it.
Whither thou goest to possess it.
In other words, what that means is every time you try to get ahead, we've talked to hundreds and hundreds of Afro-Americans, and they told me the same thing. Even my brother in Cleveland. Every time he tries to get ahead, something happens. Right, Tony?
Yep.
Something happens. They get ahead 1 month, and then boom, back down in the dumps again the following month. Remember, your people, that's only a small percentage, right, Josh? Of people in sports, people who are doing good. That's only a small percentage of your people. Okay.
22.
I got it. The Most High shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever,
That's sicknesses.
and with the inflammation,
Uh-huh.
and with an extreme burning,
Uh-huh.
and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew,
Uh-huh.
and they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
Read.
And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Read.
The Most High shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed.
The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Uh-oh, no, friend.
Thou shalt go out one way before them and flee 7 ways before them,
That's right.
and shall be removed
Come on.
into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Watch this. And shall be scattered into all the kingdoms of the earth. And that's where all your people are.
So
The Most
that's
High
what
allowed this.
happened
Yeah.
through the different captivities,
Mhm.
including this one. Okay? Whether it be the Egyptian, the Assyrian, the Medo-Persian, the
And
Greek,
this is the last one,
the
right, Josh?
ancient Roman, then the Islamic captivity.
It's the Atlantic slave trade.
Now, why does the Bible seem to focus on this captivity above all? Because out of every single captivity, the white supremacist superstructure called America did one thing different than all the other empires that have ruled the children of Israel, the Negroes and the other tribes, than any other race or any other captor have ever done. They went and used the Bible, what we're reading here, as a white supremacist book, and that is why this captivity is the worst captivity that the children of Israel have ever been under.
Because you're not being like actually killed. I mean, you are in America, but the killing is coming from you reading a Christian Bible that's never
as if it's not related to you.
That's right. It's not a Christian Bible. It's a Bible about your people.
So back to what I was saying. So as the captor must teach you, like the white man did on the plantation. They must teach you backward to teach you that the Bible supports them. So now not only are you are being trained to labor for them.
Come on.
You're being spiritually taught that it's righteous to stick up and love them.
No.
And I'm not saying don't love anybody, love all people, but I'm saying when you take a book, the Bible, and teach a slave who's forced to serve you that it's righteous and the Bible tells you to do it. When the Bible teaches that the white man will eventually be the servant of the children of Israel, and all races will be, and that's not That's not racist. That's not discriminatory.
That's right.
Why is it that when you bring the truth, you have to apologize for it?
Wow.
Are people's minds so destroyed that they can't receive something that makes sense? I mean, this just makes sense, right?
Yeah,
that's right. It's sensible.
Watch, I want to throw this out there, Josh. Respect, right, Tony? Listen, Mary, and love are two different words.
Say that again.
Respect and love is two different words. I respect you if you're coming to a door and I open the door for you, that's respect for a person.
Let's define those two words.
Let's define them.
On a dictionary.
Love means, Christ says, if you love me, you keep my commandments. He didn't say love everybody in the church and go around hugging everybody like they do in the Christian church on Sunday. He never said to do that. Didn't Paul say he had more enemies within and without than he did anywhere? Yeah. So let's get that word straight. Respect and love. They sound the same, but they're not.
The two different things. The love someone is to tell
the truth. Love demands what, Tony? You tell the truth.
Now, let's define.
Love demands correction.
Like my dad, let's see what the difference is. And we'll go back to the Bible.
Go ahead.
Respect is a feeling of deep admiration. So the slave master taught you to have a illogical respect or love, and we're going to get
that's good, John.
Respect, and we're going to define respect and fear and love right now. So we're going to get definitions because that's again what the Sabbath is. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to glean knowledge.
Right.
And okay, so the definition of respect is as follows: a feeling of deep admiration for somebody or a feeling of elated by their abilities, qualities, or achievements.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Basically, respect is a feeling of deep admiration. Okay? Okay, so let me ask you this. What has the white government of America done for you to make you respect them?
Just made you greater slaves, that's all.
Okay, that's the definition of respect. Now, we know the biblical definition of love, but let's see what the dictionary definition of love is.
Because we know what love means in the Bible. I call it the people's book. All right? That's a people's book. A certain tribe, certain tribes, and a certain nation.
Love is a strong affection for another, assisting out of kinship or personal ties.
Wow.
Material love,
the law, the Sabbath.
Marital love for a child, affection based on. Okay, so hold on. Which one?
Because Christ was making a point of affection. If you love me, you keep my commandments.
Give her my
right. Yeah. You can say that's only the part of love, but if you really love, then you should keep my commandments. Right.
A usable, loyal, and okay. Here's more of what I think I want. Look at definition. Let me highlight this as I read it. a unselfish, wait, now watch this. A unselfish, loyal behavior. A unselfish, loyal
behavior.
Benevolent, common, okay. A unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another, such as a fatherly concern of God for mankind.
Wow.
Brotherly concern for others, a person's admiration. Okay, so I like these first
four and
five. Four. Listen to these again and think. So a unselfish, loyal, benevolent concern for the good of another, such as God would have for mankind.
That's right.
Or a brotherly concern for another. So my question to you is, when has the government shown you that unselfish loyalty?
Come on.
The only thing they've shown you is fear and hate. Okay? Mm-hmm. They've never treated you Negroes with love. Okay, so why do you want to stick up for them when they've given you no reason to? Okay? You are mentally sick. Okay? What is the definition of fear?
Fear is to be scared of something.
It's imparted to control you. Fear can control you, or sometimes fear is an outward fear. Not all the time. Like if a truck almost hits you, that's sudden fear. Like the movie, remember, Master and Commander, sudden death. That kind of fear. But to fear the Most High, that's reverence.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Training. It's raining.
Yeah, go out.
So we're out in the rain. What? That is nice.
It's not nice.
He needs a bath. Right?
So
he needs a bath.
Go ahead, preacher man.
So when a person is enslaved by somebody, they are taught a irrational type of love to have for the people that enslave them. Okay, they are taught to have an irrational, illogical love for somebody that doesn't deserve it. It's because a slave master is not going to show you love. Trying to pull up this definition.
Coming down. We love the Sabbath. I hope you do too. The word says that angels come down and they join us in the Sabbath. And we're really, really blessed to know that. That's why I want you to put your life in this way. It's going to ruin the seeds for the life.
Okay.
Fear.
Fear.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Josh.
Fear is a
You want the magnifying?
unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger.
Sudden, like that. No,
You're
it's
scared, so you're afraid.
right, but it's sudden. Awareness. It's awareness.
Okay, so should you have love towards a person who has used fear to make you serve him? Okay? Should you have love towards somebody that has hung you, burnt you, raped you, used dogs against you, used police against you, used laws against you?
You're not supposed to love them.
Should you love them or have a logical understanding of what they are instead of an illogical, unbalanced affection towards them, or Stockholm syndrome? Okay, now let's go back to the scriptures. Okay. Okay. Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to skip. I just want to hit a couple things here, then we'll go back to the video. Verse 26, 28, 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto the beasts of the earth, fowl of the air, and the beasts of the earth. And none shall fray them away. So that's documented that during the slave trade, whether it be on sea and land, animals would eat the dead bodies of slaves or even slaves that were alive. So that's going into the breaking of making you feel less than a person.
Awesome. That's
Okay.
good, Josh.
Verse I'll go to verse 36, then to 48, 30, 36. The Most High shall bring thee in the king that which is set over thee. So in Africa, you had kings and order. So it took you brought to this land to make you disordered, to make you uncivilized.
That's right. To disorder you, to disorient you.
Okay, and another nation, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone,
Wood
Christianity
and Islam. That's right, the Mecca stone.
Verse 46. And these shall be a sign upon thee, and these shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder upon thy seed forever.
of Gad out in the Midwest living like almost like animals today still. All right?
And you can't barely find a Native American anymore.
Now, some of them made it. Some are in
So-called
Vegas,
Native
right?
American.
Some made it, but very few. Only a few made it.
So verse 6, moreover, all these curses or signs shall come upon thee.
Blessings.
Curses shall come upon thee, and pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments. So that is why,
We gotta go back to that.
yeah, in a minute.
No, that's all right.
I'm just going to finish.
No, because
They need to understand this.
yeah, that's no, I know that's it.
Okay, so the slave master would teach his slave not to keep the law. Why? Because then he would give his own customs to the slave. Christmas, Easter, eating unclean food.
That's what they did.
So that would begin to decivilize you mentally. So that would cause you to be adapt to the custom of your oppressor.
The conditions, that's right.
Okay, so that is not what apparently God would want you to do.
That's right.
And his statutes which he commanded ye, and they shall, okay, verse 48, and thou shalt serve. What races of people are mainly serving America as being used to build their empire upon? Their enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. You go to them for your food and your water, in thirst, and in nakedness, your clothes, and in wants of all things. So what else did he give you during slavery? He gave you his religion. He didn't give you the Bible. He stole the Bible from you and used it to control you with it.
Come on.
Knowing that if it was properly understood, you would never have served him in the first place.
They twisted the words and made you believe otherwise.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee.
Wow.
Now that iron has moved from your neck to your mind. Your people, the majority of your people that don't understand this, whether you believe it or not, you have been mentally disabled by the white man system. You have Stockholm syndrome and you don't even know it. I'll say it again. Stockholm syndrome is a irrational connection or a physiological dependence on a captor or someone who causes you physical abuse or harm. That is what your people have. You have, as a whole, you have a irrational love for not all people, but a government system that has given you no reason, right? Given you no reason to love them, right?
That's good.
Because
we're being blessed. This is good today. It's really good.
Okay. The Lord shall send a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. What nation symbol is it or sign is an eagle? America, Britain, Spain, Europe. Okay.
Come on.
So this is identifying a race. Let me say this again, so this doesn't shock you. This is identifying a race of people who would enslave another race of people.
Come on.
Let me say that again so it doesn't go over your head. This is identifying a race, a racist race of people who would enslave another peaceful people and make them serve them. Okay? Race is in the Bible. Race is in the Bible.
That's right.
Race is in the Bible. Race and nations whose tongues, why wouldn't you understand their tongue? Because you didn't speak their tongue. They gave you their tongue.
That's right. You when you came there off those ships, you spoke Hebrew.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old or show favor to the young. Now let's skip to verse 65.
Guess I shouldn't use the water today. That ain't gonna break the plates, right? Just heavy rain.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. In other words, your people would always have a feeling of need to achieve something to show that you're worthy of them. You would have no rest. Politically, lawfully, legally, everything. This nation has diseased you. Where does disease or disease come from? Being at diseasement, disease. Why is it that your people, well, I know, but ask yourself this, why do our people try to make these people love us when they have shown us nothing to where they appreciate us? They build their sports empires on your backs. Why do you think they give you all the supposed money to serve, to be a slave? Because that's what you are. I'm not saying that's what I see you as. That's what the people giving you the money see you as. Right, they see you as a slave. They don't see you as their equal. They don't care about you. They care about getting you to slave and build their empires.
They make billions and you make millions. And then you don't even get those millions sometimes.
Because, right. They're building their empires upon you, their names upon you. They don't even, they look, these owners literally look at you as slaves. That's why one of the NBA owners, the owner of the Clippers, said, and he was caught saying this, that, well, I give these black people homes and cars and clothes. In other words, they need me to take care of them.
See,
Donald Sterling, a Jewish owner of the NBA
be taking care of them,
right? So these people that own these teams look at you as their servants, their slaves. They don't really give you all these things to take care of you. They give you these things so you serve them.
That's right.
Okay. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And I'll skip 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, how can a ship go to Egypt from Israel when there's dirt there? There's ground. There's no water to get
with ships.
So it must be America.
Wait a minute. This is a sign or symbol here.
Come on.
With ships. So what race of people took another race of people with ships to another land?
Come on.
Show me that of any race.
Transatlantic slave trade.
Show me that of any race that happened to anybody. No white people did that to other white people. No Asians did that to other Asians. No Arabs did that to any other Arab people.
Come on.
Show me what people were taken by another people with ships and enslaved in a land that the people didn't know of, that were enslaved. And they shall serve thine enemies. So that's how you got names like Smith, Johnson, Jackson, Lincoln. All these names were given to you by your oppressor. Okay? These are not your names. These are your American names. These are your names that were given to you by the white man. Okay? By the Jewish slave owners, not white people. The Jewish man who enslaved you. And that's another way they make whites and blacks hate each other. They don't put themselves as the owners in the slave movies. They make you think those were just white Christians, so blacks and whites don't like each other. And I'm not saying don't like Jewish people. You are to have a healthy love and respect for everybody. Not a unbalanced love and respect, but a correct love and respect.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
So,
Love demands correction.
so
That's
let's
right.
go back to the video.
That's good, Josh. That's real good, Josh. Love demands correction. If you don't have that kind of love, then you're not correct.
To Israel,
Well, what's going to happen is, according to the Bible, the Most High is going to. You want to get some scriptures on this?
oh yeah, but let me ask you this first. You said that white people and other people are oppressing black people, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
yeah. You don't think you're under oppression right now?
In what way are they oppressing black people?
Okay. Well, first of all, probably like 70% of our people are in jail, right? In prison. Gang activity and drug activity is set up by the government.
Come on.
If I wanted to go get a loan, right, in a bank or whatever, they would probably turn me down.
Why?
But other nations
Why?
can come over here that don't even live here and get a loan
Get a
off
loan.
the bat. So you got to see
Why would they
that we
turn
are
you down?
actually being held down as a nation. And this is a part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28, because he said that you will be oppressed and brought to a land that is not yours. And so we've been here. The first slave, they said the first slave ship came here 1619, right? It's 2018. So we almost in a 400-year period, right? So we're supposed to be oppressed for almost 400 years. So we're approaching that time. Not saying that when we get to 400 years, that's when the Mashiach don't come back, but we are approaching and we're getting closer to our curses being lifted off of us.
That's right.
Because we've been held down for 400 years.
Why wouldn't they let you have a loan at the bank? If you went to the bank to get a loan, they would say no to you?
More than I have tried to get a loan a couple of times, and I had all of the qualifications that they asked me for,
And they did
and
not.
they made me jump through a million hoops.
Right.
And then other people that I know that's not of the same ethnicity as myself, they can go in there and get a loan. I was about to pay him to go get a loan for me.
But so do they? So they didn't let you have it because you were black?
I believe that's the reason.
You believe the same thing?
We go through a lot of things with that. Our eyes are open now to a lot of things we may not have saw before. So little things like that we recognize.
Crazy.
Is it possible that due to your anger toward them that you may be living in an illusion?
Who has
We don't have-
It has nothing to do with color.
We don't have any
Yeah,
anger towards
we're
anyone.
not angry
All we
people.
trying to do.
Who not angry people?
We're not
Oh,
angry
you
people.
two are not.
Yeah.
Oh, but everybody else in that
No, I'm not saying
No,
everyone is. I'm just saying, that's a lot of the stereotypes we
So
create.
you don't think that
you
our
mentioned-
people is under oppression?
Not because of the white man.
Oh, you
No,
don't?
whoa.
Who ruling the world right
They
now?
are under oppression because they have hatred in their hearts. And
You all
that
say-
hatred in their hearts
No.
is what
Who got
holding
hatred
them
in their
back.
hearts?
Black
Who has
people.
hatred?
So
Black
you
people
have
got
hatred in your
I
heart?
had it, but it's gone now.
Okay, so
And it doesn't start with the white people.
I love my
Start-
oppressor.
Most black men and women hate their mothers and grandmothers. And because they won't forgive them, they're living in darkness. And in that darkness, they're living in illusion. And so they've been told by the enemies of good that it's the white man, when it's really they're hating their mothers and yearning for their fathers.
So
Have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome?
Yes,
You know what that is?
yes.
What is it?
It's when Patty Davis was captured by the Black Panthers, and they tortured her, and she began to hate them. And once she began to hate them, she identified with them and started supporting them.
Okay.
As you become attracted
So are
to
you
what you hate.
you talking like Patty Hearst right now?
How's that?
Because you loving the oppressor. Now, is our nation being oppressed right now?
No, not by white people,
Who are we getting oppressed by then?
black people.
What?
I don't understand.
So I do love all people. I love white people. I
There we
love
go,
the Jews. I love the blacks. But you can't say you love the whites.
Yes, I did. I said I love everybody.
No, everybody is not white. You said something else that I got to get to. You said that an example of being oppressed is that the blacks are in jail, they're committing violence, gang members or something like that. Do you blame white people for that?
Yes.
You do.
You elite.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
that's
grew up
elite.
under the Jim Crow laws.
It's not.
I remember-
It's not fully their fault.
I remember for colors only signs, for whites only signs, I was restricted to where I can live. But because we had fathers and mothers getting married, out of wedlock birth was an embarrassment. Abortion was unheard of. Blacks were taught to work, and
What he's really
Now-
doing is, yeah, Josh, stop.
This is this is exactly what we were saying. Stockholm. This person is excusing what the white superstructure have done and blaming his own people.
Right, here you go.
This, in other words, he loves white. He has an illogical love for white people.
Bill,
He loves
I have
the
family
people
members
who
who
are
own land. Some of
oppressing
them
them.
never worked the plantation because they own land and did their own thing. They were not going to jail. I didn't grow up with one person going to jail. No one around me was going to jail. If white people were oppressing and we were under the Jim Crow laws and they were causing black on black violence and incarceration, why didn't we see it then instead of now? Why do we see it then?
So you don't think that that's hatred?
No, but tell
From-
me
from
why
the-
did, no, the question is, if it's the fault of the oppressor that blacks are in jail, why didn't we see it back then?
He's even uncomfortable saying they're oppressing them.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see it back in Jim Crow days?
Yes.
Actually, our people was more actually structured back in those days. They was fighting for their equal rights. They was more organized. They was.
But they were not organized.
Yeah, right
They
now.
weren't even thinking of
Right
being
now,
organized.
everybody is more.
It's not true. They were not organized at all. They were living. They were not identified with preachers. They were not identified with black politicians or anybody. They only got their identity from family, from God, and from family. They were not. They had no leaders. And they were better
They
off.
became
Yeah.
organized.
See, now this is what.
And that's a
This
good
is
point.
why.
You gotta be quiet, bro.
This is
Listen.
why you need to understand about a Hebrew Israelite. Because when everybody understands who they are and why things happen the way that they happen, then you will understand where you're going. You will understand what's taking place. You will understand that we need to
Yeah,
move
listen.
forward and do what we got to do for the Most High.
But why didn't we see incarceration and abortion and all that junk prior? I mean, during the Jim Crow era, as opposed to now when blacks are free. If
We
it's
not
a
free.
white man
Well, you
fault,
know, and abortion is being pushed by the government upon our black people.
I know, but the point is, when blacks were under those laws, why didn't we see incarceration and all that happen to them as opposed to now?
Well, right now, I think that they locking a lot more of us up. They have the 3 strike law, right? So you can get in trouble for one thing, and you can get 3 strikes off that one thing. So now our brothers is being, and now the
But you're
jail.
not telling me why it wasn't out of control prior to the Jim Crow laws. I mean, prior to overcoming the Jim Crow laws. Why didn't we see it then if it's the white man who was oppressing black
Because you didn't know.
They did see it then.
Yes,
You
you
don't,
were.
you don't think
Didn't grow up
who
around
was they
it,
marching
didn't
against?
Right.
Who was spraying us with water hoses?
That's oppression.
But
Oppression is
it
right.
wasn't oppression. It was a wrong law that was put on by the government, Democratic
oppression.
Party, by the way, the government, and it wasn't oppressing them. We didn't feel
No.
oppressed.
Oh,
We saw
no.
the signs, but because we were free
They didn't feel
within
oppressed.
and we
Did Martin
believed
Luther
in
King
God.
think he was getting oppressed?
What are you
Yeah.
kidding?
No,
He
the only
didn't.
thing that Martin Luther King did and should have done and then dropped it was to fight to change the laws, and so that the same laws that govern and protect the white folks would
I feel sorry
apply to black
Well,
people.
the white
Other
people,
than that, blacks would have been fine
the
even
white
today.
people that you love go against you on that. They gave Martin Luther King his own day
When you say that I love,
because they think that the things that he was
Talks about
fighting
you know,
for was justified. You wouldn't even be able to sit in the front of the bus if it wasn't for Martin Luther
that's why
King.
they
And
need to
Rosa
change the
Parks.
laws.
Huh?
That's why they need to change the laws because
He's not going to
He
change
had
the
a drafted
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Laws are
very
against
laws.
He did his with peace. We got Malcolm X.
When you say the white people that I love, am I not supposed to love them?
Yeah, I'm saying you love
Should I
him,
love
but,
Yeah, but you don't agree with them.
So let me
or
ask
do
you.
you think you what are you?
I'm asking you, should I love white people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So why you say the white people that you're supposed to love? As though I
because
should love them.
But there's a
because what
love
I'm
and there's
saying
an
is the way
understanding.
that you're expressing your love is different from ours.
That's right.
Because you're condoning wickedness.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of wickedness that takes place that they have done against our people, and
You
you want
agree
to
with
have
it.
a blind eye to it.
How am I having a blind eye?
It's like
okay,
you're
now
not
when we came
recognized.
over here in slave ships, was that racism?
No.
That
It
wasn't
wasn't.
racism?
He just playing.
Why do you
What
say
kind of
that?
show we on, man?
Why do you say that was racism?
That's
to capture
big people.
and force people to go somewhere that they don't want to go.
That's not
Who were the
oppression.
racists promoting that, doing that? Who were the people doing that?
The so-called white man.
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
Black people were sold into slavery by blacks.
No, they were paid
to
by
the
the
Arabs.
Jews.
Let's get
Like,
Psalm
Jews.
83.
Yeah,
Get
that's
the
it.
Bible, get the Bible out.
And then we'll get to that.
Okay.
We're
It
gonna
was
get
the
to that.
Arabs who sold the
Yeah, we're
blacks
gonna
across
get
the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't
like
white
scriptures
people who just
before.
Yeah,
tiptoed
you're right.
over to Africa
She said what
and
the
just
scriptures doing.
bought white, took white folks. They were being sold by other black people. Is that racism for black? And they're still doing that today in parts of Africa where blacks are enslaved by other blacks and
White
Arabs.
Jews.
Is that
But every
racism?
black person
Wait,
is not.
wait, wait,
Is that racist?
Okay, so you wanna justify
No, I'm actually
black
raising
people
racism.
going against black
Shut
people,
up, brother.
but you don't want to look at white people at all.
No,
for
just
nothing
ask
that they have done wrong.
No, that's
They
not
used
true.
to grab our women, and this is serious. This is man to man. Me talking to you. You need
They
to
rape
hear what I'm
your
about to
women
tell you.
and
They
you love
used to
them.
grab our women that was pregnant, and they used to get a horse and tie both her legs
To
to
two
two
different
horses.
horses
and
and
split
make the
her apart.
horses up.
They used to smash our babies' heads. They used to feed our babies
To alligators, and that's
And you
not
say that ain't racism?
wickedness.
Well, anytime you have slavery like that, someone else controlling you, they're going to torture you like that.
So who's
And
controlling?
All people have been in
White
some form
people.
of slavery, and they have gone through that.
Is it
No,
racism?
that's not racism.
Don't even listen
But
to
I
this
wanna
man.
ask
This man
this.
is way off. Man.
Let me ask this.
This a joke.
This is a joke, right?
Now,
The KKK, not all white people were hanging black people.
Not all white people were hanging black people, but the whole thing is that white people were hanging black people, and you are black.
What do you mean by blacks were unified? Like,
Back then, it was three husbands to every five households. It was now the
that was in
government.
Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm from Alabama. That was
You from
like,
Alabama, it's the same. The whole world. It was three husbands
I'm from
to each
Alabama.
five
You hear
households.
this?
And now you got the government coming
They were
in.
hanging your people in
So
Alabama
they
too,
want
brother.
to allow the husband to live with the wife.
do you
They
believe
give us Section 8. They want to make our
See?
women comfortable.
Stop.
And then you
Stop
have
for a
the
minute.
other people
One second,
coming
stop.
in, which the Caucasian.
You see this brother that's talking to these brothers? He is so possessed with white people loving him, but yet he doesn't know that they're his oppressors. And that's where this is going. Okay. Now you listen to this, brother. Listen closely to this unlearned pastor with that monkey suit on. And that doesn't mean a black man monkey. I'm talking about a monkey suit. That's what they do with champions. You know, what do you call them? Chimpies? Those monkeys?
Chimpanzee.
Yeah, chimpanzees. They put suits on him and a hat. And that's what he looks like. Because this man is unlearned.
Black people, and you are black.
What do you mean by blacks were unified? Like,
Back then, it was three husbands to every five households. It was now the
that was in
government.
Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm from Alabama. That was
I'm from Alabama.
The whole world. It was three husbands to each five households, and now you got the government coming in. And they won't even allow the husband to live with the wife.
Do you
They
believe
give us Section 8. They want to make our women comfortable, and then you have the other people coming in, which the Caucasian, this whole feminist movement.
brother, that's right.
When that came in, it made our own black women say, "Oh, we don't need a man. Let's be
You know what?
independent."
His
But
brother's got a
still,
position
no,
with white people.
and I love everybody. When you say
Well,
everybody, white people are included with the
I
word
didn't ask
everybody.
about
You say everybody. We
I
say
didn't ask
everybody.
everybody.
Now you want me to single them out like you're singling us out, and you're one of us. That's exactly what
What do
you're
you
doing.
mean, one of us?
The so-called black man.
African-American.
No, I'm not African American. I'm an
What-
American.
So you're so
That's
so-called black American.
Right.
Correct?
Not so-called, I am.
He's American. Yeah, he's fucking American. Yeah.
For face value, when you show you are a black American, like we are black Americans, correct?
Yes.
So why
So-
are you trying to single them out and make us seem like we hate them when we don't?
I'm
The
not
Bible
trying to
tells
do
us
that.
that
I'm
we
trying to
shall not
learn.
abhor a stranger.
Now he's talking.
I'm trying to learn what the Israelites about. So let me ask.
spreading the word of the Most High God.
It's not a Christian Bible. What was you know the name of the first nation? I heard you call this man
Jesus.
I think
You
look
know
like
the name, you
Jesus.
said
I
she
didn't call
looked
him
like
Jesus.
Jesus. You know the name of
Does
the
he look
first
like
nation
Jesus?
that came to America?
What
The name
Do
of
you
it.
know the
This
first
man's gonna
the
put
name
his
of
foot
the
in his
first
mouth.
nation that came
Put
to
his foot in
America?
his mouth.
No.
The good ship Jesus.
A
So
slave
why would
ship.
they associate Jesus or him with something ugly? So ugly. Now I'm saying him because that's what
See?
you said. Now you're laughing.
Tell him, brother.
And I said he. So
Let me ask, you say blacks were unified. You grew up under Jim Crow?
no, I didn't. But I heard the stories of my mother. My mother is 50. My mother is 52, and my mother was born on a plantation in Louisiana.
Right.
She's
What do you
52.
mean that they were unified? They were not unified.
Yes, sir. They
No,
were
no,
unified.
no. There were
They were
blacks who
unified.
did not.
I grew up in something where we call the projects, but my grandmother would call it the quarters, the slave quarters. And when my grandma would cook a pot of gumbo, you know what she would do? The whole
Everybody ate.
neighborhood would eat that one pot of gumbo. And as I grew up, I just, as I grew up, I seen the vision. This family going that way. That family
But
going
the
that
more
way.
blacks didn't like him.
Now the question is this: Do you love black people?
Yes,
You love black
I
people.
love that.
Okay. Now do you understand the struggles of the black people?
Yes.
Okay. Now you
Ask me
understand?
about- ask me
Okay. Now
about the
why are
struggle.
we struggling?
Due to the lack of morality and the destruction of the home, the family.
Okay. How did the home get corrupted?
The average
How
black,
did the home get corrupted?
well, about 60 years or so, give or take, black men went along with the government, under the Lyndon B. Johnson Democratic government, and said, okay, we're going to let our women accept welfare, government program, and we're going to leave the home and let the government become your daddy, and then allow the corrupt black so-called civil rights leaders and others lead the people, and that's where you went wrong. It had nothing to do with,
Okay. Now listen.
because if black men had been
He
real
just
men,
contradicted himself. He said the government came in.
right,
Who structures the government?
we the people,
Who's we the people?
we vote them in.
Who is in the government? Who runs the
At
government?
that time, it was the Democrats headed up by Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay.
But the blacks should not have gone along with it. It was their weakness that caused them to go along with it. Had they been real men,
We
they
don't-
You don't
would not
understand
have
that the
given up.
Bible says
They
that
would
this will
not have
happen.
given up their family.
Okay, so let me show you a scripture on this. Let me show you why that's happening so you can understand. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28,
What?
and let's go to verse
Which one you want?
exactly what he's talking about right now.
Spinach or
You
cheese?
really
Let's go to
by your
28 and
Do you raised by
50.
your father?
Go to the Bible.
Single parent home. No.
How about you?
Yeah, I was raised with my mother and my father.
Your father's in your home?
Spinach or cheese?
Your father's in your home?
Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is
Wait, Tyler, I'm not done yet.
I think he.
Oh, you got it?
Up there near.
All right, yeah, but I want to go up there. All right, yeah, take the chair. Go ahead. So sad to hear a brother like that. It's really sad. I believe he's trying to understand. You know, Mary? Maybe he's trying. He really is. I hope he is. You know?
They never got to the scriptures.
No, but they won't. Because he reveals them, who he is. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to admit that they fucked him. It's him. They don't want to admit it. It's not fucked over. But I'd rather just leave it like that. You know, Josh? Cal, what's the difference, right, Josh? Yeah, Lab.
So-
yeah, Josh, I'm right here. Yeah, speak.
Hopefully
I'm right here with you.
you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was
You
blessed,
did?
Josh, blessed. I want to say something.